few people are both a summer and a winter, but you pull it off nicely.
Hey guys, Michael the DC Multiverse Collector here, really excited to be bringing you this look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Riddler and Two-Face from Batman Forever. Now this Riddler and Two-Face are part of a 4-figure Build-A-Figure wave. The other 2 figures are Batman and Robin, and of course you can assemble the Nightmare Bat. Now I thought I'd start with the villains because they're more unique. We've already seen a Val Kilmer Batman in the line in the 6-pack, and we've already seen a Chris O'Donnell Robin in the Batman and Robin wave, so I thought the real excitement in this wave for me was in these villains, so here they are, and boy did they look awesome in hand. Now before we get going with the review, I just wanted to say I imported these from Hong Kong, from Sgt. Pepper's Hobby Club. It's a really awesome Hong Kong store that ships internationally, highly recommended, and I've also got to add that I have another set of these figures coming locally in Australia from Green Rock Comics. Now Green Rock Comics are awesome, they have a great range, free delivery, over $100. Awesome store, so I'm really glad to have a set of these coming locally as well. And I should also say, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss my review of Batman and Robin, which should be going up shortly, and also the Build-A-Figure Nightmare Bat. So anyway, on to the figures. Here you'll see you've got Jim Carrey Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face, both looking extremely authentic in packaging. I really love the look of the Build-A-Figure parts. I can see we've got some cool accessories. I'm excited. Is this the first time we've had a figure holding their accessory in the box? I can't remember any other figures that actually are holding a weapon in the box, so that's really interesting. I can see some slight deformation in Riddler's cane. Hopefully that can be sorted out with some hot water. Anyway, we'll find out. Turning now to the side of the box, you can see we've got the Riddler and Two-Face from Batman Forever. And on the back of the box, you can see the Nightmare Bat, that's the Build-A-Figure, how it comes together, and all the different figures in this wave. Now it's a really interesting choice of a Build-A-Figure, the Nightmare Bat from the deleted scene from Batman Forever. Very novel choice by McFarlane to do it. I don't know what else they could have done as a Build-A-Figure. Some people have suggested they could have done a Build-A-Figure Nicole Kidman, Dr. Meridian Chase, or is it Dr. Chase Meridian? Dr. Chase Meridian. Dr. Meridian Chase. I've totally blanked on whether her name's Meridian Chase or Chase Meridian, but in any event, Build-A-Figure Nicole Kidman, that's an option I've heard. Otherwise, I'm not sure what they could have done. So anyway, looks really cool. But yeah, look, enough preamble, I think. Let's just get these guys open, see what we get in the box, have a look at our BAF pieces, and take a look at these awesome looking figures. Alrighty, so here are Riddler and Two-Face out of the box, looking really, really cool with all their accessories laid out. Let's start with the BAF pieces. So Riddler comes with the body, torso and legs of the Nightmare Bat. It's nicely detailed, not a lot of paint on it, but it's huge, and to be honest, this looks kind of disgusting. It looks like a dead rat or something, so that's what Riddler comes with. And Two-Face comes with the right wing of the Nightmare Bat, and I've got to say, the wingspan on this really took me by surprise. It is enormous. It is huge, so this Nightmare Bat should be fairly large when it's assembled. Has really nice sculpt work, nice wash there. There's the other side. It looks really, really nice. So looking forward to getting that BAF assembled when we review the next 2 figures. So coming in for a closer look at the other accessories, let's start with the boring stuff. 2 display stands, thin, basic, boring, but nice to have. We also get the collector's cards. Let's start with the Riddler. There you'll see we have Jim Carrey's grinning mug and the bio for Edward Nygma on the back. You can pause there if you want to read. And here is Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face and the Harvey Dent data file on the back. Pause it there if you'd like to read. Ah, look, it's Chase Meridian, not Meridian Chase, so mystery resolved. So for Riddler, we also get his signature cane. It's a very, very soft, bendy plastic. It is a nice sort of sheen of gold plastic. It's not painted, it's cast in this pearlescent gold. I think it looks really, really nice. It's accurate enough to the movie, maybe a little thick, but that's okay. It'll allow him to hold it and grip it properly. And you can see that no matter how bent it was in the package, it straightens out when you get it out of his hands. So that is pretty nice. We also get one of these little Riddler bat bombs, famous in that scene where Riddler destroys the Batcave. That's really cute to have, and I like the little painted question mark on that, so yeah, nice accessory to have, accurate to the movie. And Riddler also comes with an alternate fist hand and an alternate gesture hand, in addition to the 2 grippy hands that he's equipped with in the box. Two-Face comes with a bit less. He comes with an alternate trigger finger gun hand to replace the one that is currently flipping a coin, and he gets a fist gloved hand, which the current one that comes out of the box is a trigger finger. So let's have a closer look at the figures, I think starting with the Riddler. So here is Jim Carrey's Riddler, and out of the box I think the most striking thing about this figure is that head sculpt. It's really, really good. McFarlane seems to do a really great job with the likenesses on a lot of their movie figures. There are some duds in amongst there, but we've had some great head sculpts that really capture the actors' likenesses. We saw that with the Batman and Robin wave in particular. Really, really strong stuff. And in the movie Six Pack. And I think this Jim Carrey Riddler looks amazing. Now you'll see he's in this sort of like green jumpsuit from the section in the movie where he's like in a leotard. And that sort of reminds me of the scene in the Batcave where he's dancing around throwing bat bombs and blowing up the Batcave. Of course, there are a number of looks for the Riddler in the movie. He has like a green suit at one point with a hat, and he also has like a silver leotard with crazy hair at the end. So there are a number of different looks McFarlane could have gone with for the Riddler, and he went with this one, and I can kind of see why. This is probably the simplest one that requires the least detailed tooling. It's just a jumpsuit. It can be sort of flat, I guess. This suit would have required a bit more sculpting, and so would I have preferred the suited look with the hat? Maybe. I think this is still fairly iconic, and it's certainly nothing to complain about. It's just, let me know in the comments what sort of costuming you would have preferred for this figure. I think this is pretty good. Coming in for a closer look, you can see he's covered head to toe, quite literally, with these question marks, and pleasingly, they continue over the back of the figure, not so much on the arms, but at least on the legs and torso, which I really like because sometimes we find the paint lacking on the back of figures, but not in this case, happily. The other thing to sort of observe about this figure from afar is its lanky proportions. It's super thin and gangly, and I'm not sure I've seen this body used on any other figure. I think this might be unique. Let me know in the comments if you recognize it, but this is not the Blue Beetle Booster Gold body buck. This is an even thinner buck. It's not the John Kent buck. This looks new. These legs are really, really skinny, and it's sort of accurate to how he looked in the movie. He's like a very skinny guy with a skin-tight leotard. This kind of captures it, so there's not a lot to say. Like, his general proportions are okay, very, very skinny, but they get the job done, and they certainly tell you this is the Jim Carrey Riddler. The topography on those question marks looks really, really strong. The shade of green is quite nice. There's not a lot of texture on this guy. Like, let's have a look at him. On the body, it's just very flat. And except for the shoes, there's a little bit of texture on the shoes, but otherwise he's just very plain, and it's relying on that paintwork to really do a lot of the job in selling the figure, and I think that's fine. Would I have liked maybe a little bit more texture to this suit? Maybe, but I'm just nitpicking. I think at any sort of distance he looks reasonably cool, so I think that's really nice. But yeah, this head sculpt, let's come in for a closer look. Depending on the angle that you go with, it looks amazing. Like, a little bit tilted to that way, it looks really, really like Jim Carrey. Straight on, it looks like him too. Yeah, I think, like, no matter how you slice it, this is really, really nice. And the head looks up, down, tilts left, tilts right. Not a huge amount, but enough to give you some of that signature Jim Carrey personality. You know, he's quite an elastic performer, pulling sort of wacky bodily poses, and I think this figure will kind of do all of that you'd want it to do. He's got the double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. We'll do the splits, no problem. Back that much. Forward not as much as you would think. The head spins all the way around as well. But you'll see it has like a high degree of movement, high range, and same at the wrists. So like, this is standard McFarlane articulation, but like pretty good McFarlane articulation. It's got the toe joint, rocker, rotation. Yeah, like it's exactly what you'd expect it to be, and he's going to move into just about any pose you're going to want to get this guy in, you know, theatrical sort of, you know, Riddler-y poses. That's terrible. I'll try again later and do some good poses. But yeah, like there's not that much to say about this guy. He really is 100% that head sculpt. That's what makes the figure. That's what makes the figure appealing and sort of a must-have, because it's been a while since we've had a Jim Carrey Riddler figure, and certainly I don't know that we've ever had one in a mass retail line with a likeness that strong. And here he is with some of his accessories equipped. The cane looks pretty good. You have to straighten it out a bit first, and that little bat bomb fits nicely into the Riddler's hand, so that's nice. And overall, I just really like the way this figure looks. It's got a lot of personality, and I think that personality makes up for how simplistic this figure is in a lot of ways. So yeah, Riddler is a winner. Turning now to the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face. And I think this figure is really, really nice, guys. Like, I think it kind of delivers on everything you would want from a Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face. And now, from my perspective, Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face was never a fantastic Two-Face beyond his design. He looked really cool, but I always found his personality was just too similar to the Riddler and the Joker. He was too manic, and he didn't capture the pathos and tragedy of Harvey Dent. So this iteration of Two-Face is not my favourite version of Two-Face, I've got to be honest. And I think it's really crazy that we have not got a comic book Two-Face yet in this line. We've had Two-Face dressed as Batman, we've had Two-Face from The Dark Knight, and now we've got Batman Forever Two-Face. Todd, please, it's Harvey Dent. We need a comic Harvey Dent soon. Please, I beg you. Anyway, let's look at what we do have here. I think to nail a Harvey Dent from Batman Forever, you really need to nail two elements, the head sculpt and the design. And I think on both accounts, McFarlane has done an awesome job. Look at the paintwork, that purple and black paintwork through the right-hand side of the suit, I should say, sorry, the left, his left. It's beautiful, like it's just immaculately done. It's really, really clean. Maybe gets a bit splotchy on the tie, but looks good still. Down the suit lapel looks great. Yeah, just top to bottom, the paint looks really, really nice, including on the back. You can see the purple hair. And like that head sculpt, I mean, look at that. Let's come in for a closer look. I think this is amazing. I think the Jim Carrey Riddler is good. I think this is great. I think this nails Tommy Lee Jones in that movie. Absolutely. You can turn it this way. Tommy Lee Jones and Two-Face. Look at that detail. Incredible sculpt work there. The gnarled ear, the hair. I think that just looks incredible. Even the neck is scarred. I just think it looks great. Fantastic design for Two-Face, and Todd has nailed it in figure form. Absolutely nailed it. So what else is there to say? He did a Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones, and he killed it. One thing I will say is this guy's not all new. These legs are from the Dark Knight Aaron Eckhart Two-Face, so the legs, the shoes, and the diaper piece are exactly the same as that other figure, but of course they have a different paint job, and that's fine. This is sort of a good, it's good suited pants sculpt, so I'm not mad about that. I think that's fine. The rest of it appears to be unique. I wouldn't be shocked if this jacket and suit is from another figure, but the paintwork really makes it unique and alive. So yeah, Two-Face looks really, really nice. It's interesting here, you'll see that he comes equipped with a hand which has coin flipping action. I can't tell if this is meant to be like multiple coins that he's flipping, like at the end of the movie where he gets confused with all the coins going in the air. I don't think so. Or it's meant to be one coin that's moving, flipping through the air, and it's meant to suggest motion. I think that's a really weird choice, honestly. I think a single coin would have looked a lot better than this sort of like, yeah, this weird 3-coin stack. So that's kind of weird. I'm not mad at it though. Like, it's cool to have the coins attached to the hand. I just think that's a little bit strange looking. And his other hand, you'll see, is a gloved hand, kind of famous from when Two-Face dies at the end, spoilers, and you see the gloved hand. Yeah, looks pretty good. And you can see that you can equip a gun if you have one of the munitions packs, and he'd look really cool holding a pistol or a revolver. Anyway, what do you think of this Two-Face? I think he looks awesome. In terms of how he moves, you've seen this with the Dark Knight Two-Face. He can do the splits reasonably well. Despite the fact he's a suited character with this sort of soft, gummy body, he can get his leg up that high. Double jointed knees, no problem there. Arms go up yay high. Double jointed elbows, no problem. Now at the torso, because of this rubber suit, you're just not going to get much. Like you can force it. So he pivots left and right. Sorry. But yeah, it's a bit tough because of this suit. So that is what it is, but it's Two-Face. He doesn't really contort himself acrobatically. He's a guy in a suit at the end of the day, so it's fine. Head spins around 360 degrees. Great tilt. Looks up really nicely. Looks down really nicely too. So yeah, like, again, pretty standard, what you'd expect in terms of articulation for a suited figure. And overall, I just think this guy looks really, really good. And on a shelf here next to the Riddler, I think he will look great. Anyway, that's Two-Face. I like him. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's do some comparisons. For our first comparison, let's have a look at all the Riddler figures we've got in the DC Multiverse line so far. You will see on the left here, we've got the classic Riddler, followed by the Batman movie Riddler, the Batman Forever Riddler, and the Arkham Riddler. Now, I think all of these are awesome, awesome figures in their own right, each depicting a very different version of the Riddler. I think in terms of spiritual connections, these two guys, Jim Carrey and the classic Riddler, have the most similarities going on. In terms of their sort of style and demeanour, but they're still very different. One's sort of buffer and Jim Carrey's skinnier. Tell me in the comments what Riddler is your favourite, which is the one for your shelf. Like, I think at the end of the day, the comic ones are the ones I go with above all for my main display. But in terms of movie Riddlers, I love that we've got the Paul Dano Riddler and the Jim Carrey Riddler, both for our movie displays, and they're just so different and both executed at such a high level. Yeah, I just think these guys look awesome, and McFarlane has done a great job with the Riddler so far. And here we have the two Two-Face figures that McFarlane has given us to date. On the left, the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face and the Aaron Eckhart Two-Face from The Dark Knight on the right. And that's it. No comic book Harvey Dent Two-Face yet. I'm sure it's coming soon. I hope it's sooner rather than later. But of these two, in terms of the character, I much prefer the Harvey Dent Aaron Eckhart. I think that sort of character, that depiction really captured the pathos of Harvey Dent. But in terms of a design for a figure on the shelf, the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face just looks so much cooler, so much more iconic looking. So in terms of the figures, I'll give it to the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face. And you can see there that they share the same shoes, pants, and diaper piece. So there you go. Finally, here are all the Joel Schumacher Batman villains that we've got in this line so far. The only one we're missing really is the Bane from Batman and Robin, but here they are all together, and I think McFarlane really has nailed it with these. The likenesses are on point, the detail is there, and I think with these latest two Batman Forever figures, he's fixed the main problem with the Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, in that their expressions are much more, lively, animated, cinematic, rather than the blank expressions we got the last time around. So big kudos to McFarlane there. But yeah, what a great set of figures. So look, I'm obviously a big fan of these figures. I think this Batman Forever Riddler and Two-Face are superb. Riddler may be a little bit plain as far as the sculpt goes, but that head is a work of art, and the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face nails it. Head to toe, that's just accurate to the movie in every way. So look, I think McFarlane's killing it with these movie figures. He's on a roll, and these two figures are no exception. And I think if you're a fan of movie figures in general, or Batman Forever, or either Two-Face or Riddler, these are a must-buy. And certainly they come with a decent array of accessories. There's really nothing to complain about for me. So that's all from me. If this video has been entertaining, informative, or helpful, why not give it a like? And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Until next time, friends, happy collecting, and thank you so much for watching.